To everyone who always wondered what it would be like to be down with a candy cane, what do I get myself into? When your is literally candy cane striped and can curve inside a person, hitting their pleasure spot, peppermint flavors means something different.
It's the end of the year.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa, and why am I wearing this blanket? Because I'm hella cold, okay? So I thought it would be a very fun idea to read some spicy books to heat me up. So let's get into it. What am I reading today? So I am just absolutely cold. It is just cold and windy and not a fun time. And I was like, you know what? Maybe reading some spicy novellas might heat things up a little bit in my world, so let's give it a try. The first book that I am going to be reading is called Gifted to His Dad. The cover looks so cute. I am just so excited to dive into this one. I'm about 25% through the book currently, and what I know so far is that Eve is going away with her boyfriend Cole over the Christmas holiday. She's gonna stay with his family, which currently his family only consists of him and his stepdad. His mom is kind of like left both of them, just kind of totally abandoned them. And they get to the cabin where they're going to be staying a day early and, you know, get a little spicy. They're doing things, just kind of having a fun, intimate time right off the bat. At the end of the first chapter, Eve is literally in the middle of orgasming. And in walks Cole's stepfather, Griffin. She gets a little embarrassed by this and kind of like runs off. Later, Cole has a conversation with Griffin about it, like, hey, you know, she's kind of embarrassed, try not to make a big deal out of it, that kind of thing. And you get a little bit of backstory about what happened to the mom and how the guys met, you know, because obviously that's his stepdad. Then you start getting Eve's perspective while she's getting sexy with Cole later that night again, and she starts thinking about the stepdad. Cole's a little odd too, because he's like, I probably don't think about my stepfather in the same way that other guys do. Like, I'm not attracted to him or anything, but I kind of want him to be impressed by my girlfriend. So you can obviously tell where this story's going. I mean, the title says it all. He's literally going to gift her to his dad. It's going to become a male situation. I'm here for it. I do have a couple of other books that I would like to try out, and these are all very short. Gifted to His Dad's like 100-something pages, but Brie also sent me this other book called Demon Satisfier. No idea what that's about, but I'll put the picture here for you. I'll read about that when I get to that one. I did see a little Audible ad for Dear Monster Claus. Again, I'll put the picture up here for you because we love pictures here. We love the cover of books. Covers of books definitely get me to read, and I will read whatever the heck is in these books. And then I saw another like little ad through Instagram last night about this book called Beatitude, I think. It's not a holiday book at all, but I said, oh, this seems pretty messed up. Let me invite my friend Neva to buddy read it with me. So we're gonna buddy read this tonight together. I'm here for the spiciest of times this weekend. It is currently Saturday, so I have the rest of the evening to just read, and I'm going to be reading tomorrow as well. So I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get back in my spicy times, warm the heck up, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll let you know what I think about these stories and if they are as good as the covers might seem. Good morning, friends. It is now Sunday. Yesterday ended up being a little bit busier than I thought, so I didn't get to finish Gifted to His Dad, but I did finish it this morning as I was laying in bed, just kind of waking up, and I'm gonna give this one 3 stars. I thought that it was cute and spicy. It definitely had a lot more spice than I said before, so I was like, oh, it's probably like 25% plot and 75% smut, or 20 and 80, something like that. No, I think this was more like 10% plot, 90% smut. It kind of felt like there was good setup for there to be some additional longer parts of the story, some good background given, but we didn't go into depth with those things. So like, I feel like if this were ever to be kind of taken from this novella into a full-length novel, it would be very interesting to have a little bit more backstory, have them do some different things in between some of the spicy events, because it literally felt like from one moment they would be doing it and then they go shower and then it's like they come out in the living room and they're doing it again, and I'm like, there's no cool down period? we're not gonna like take a moment to rest. And apparently like all of the events happen like within this one weekend. Like I wasn't sure if it was like over a 2-week holiday break or what, but no, at some point it was mentioned that like they were just there for the weekend and it was like Christmas weekend or something. There was also no like real discussion about, hey, like my dad's interested in you and I'm interested in like having my dad bang you and I think this would be really fun. Like all of that conversation was in the main male character's head, but it wasn't actually a conversation, which I love communication in my books. So that would have been a great thing to kind of delve into a little bit more, even if it made the story like 10 more pages longer. And I also felt like some of the spicy scenes ended rather abruptly. It was like there was no detail given. If I was someone who was going into this book and I was looking for a erotic romance, I would want more of those scenes to be expanded upon, I guess. Like I remember there was one scene where the boyfriend was getting her off in the hot tub and the dad was watching and it was just like, oh, he like did this and then we were done. And I was like, more could have happened in this story. Like you could have wrote a little bit more. So I thought it was okay. It wasn't like something I hated, wasn't something I loved. It was cute and quick, you know, it was a quickie. So now I am reading Beatitudes and I am, I guess, technically in the first chapter, but there was a prologue to this. So it sounds like it's some sort of religious erotica. There might be some religious trauma going on. I don't really know. It says that it is a depraved muses department novella. I don't know what that means. Goodreads doesn't have it listed as anything. There's no genres listed. You can get this book through Kindle Unlimited. So on Amazon, it has like a big bold statement, like your sugar warning statement at the bottom that says it's a very dark, toxic romance. The characters are morally black, toxic, and are not a depiction of a healthy relationship. If you're coming into this hoping to find a redeeming quality in the male main character, you won't. He is an unaliver, a psychopath who has severe untreated mental illnesses. Please make sure you read over the trigger and content warnings before going into this. I will say from chapter 1, it says that he is diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, and panic disorder. And you know, of course, when there's a diagnosis mentioned, I have to talk about it. So Ronan's the name of the main male character. He said that when he was a younger child or just earlier in life, he wanted to burn his parents' house down, which that is a criteria for conduct disorder, like wanting to destroy other people's property and stuff, which conduct disorder does lead into antisocial PD. So I'm not questioning the diagnoses. I always just want to make sure that they are accurate when authors talk about them. But he also mentions that no one ever stopped to ask him why he wanted to burn his parents' house down. And later in the chapter, he says that poor little me wanted to burn down the very place where my father taught me that true faith meant blindly obeying his every command, even if it meant being abused and humiliated. And I was like, you know, that's actually a really good point. So when I do my own intakes and stuff for work, I ask for a lot of the motivations for why people are engaging in a certain behavior. I never just want to take somebody's statement at face value. So if they're saying something like they have ADHD symptoms and they have difficulty paying attention, I'm not just going to take that at face value because everybody has difficulty paying attention, you know what I mean? So it's like I want to know in what context, like how long has this been going on? Does it happen often? Is it more of a recent thing? For example, if you literally got into a car accident earlier in the day, you're going to be pretty distracted with that. You're going to be shooken up. You're going to be thinking about, I gotta figure out what to do with my car, get a new car, insurance, like all that stuff. So I feel like there's a lot of different reasons for why people display behaviors. I thought that was a really good intro to this book and what to be expected. So all right, DJ Krimmer, I see you. I'm very interested and curious to see where you're gonna go with the rest of this book.
Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Treating every night like the last time. So I end all my days with you. Yeah, we should share a backseat in a taxi to get home. No need for either of us at this point to sleep alone. 'Cause I don't like in
quick little check-in because I think yesterday I was reading Beatitude and then my day got really busy. After I did my little check-in yesterday, I went to go walk the dog with my partner, so you got some little b-roll of us throwing sticks at Daisy. Or, well, we were throwing sticks for Daisy to fetch and bring back, so that's been pretty entertaining lately. And then we had some plans in the afternoon to go play Pokemon Go. There was like a big event yesterday where you need at least 40 people to beat these things in the game, and we had like, I don't know, 120 to 150 people show up. So it's wild like how poppin' Pokemon Go is in my area. But yeah, that was really fun. Right before that, we actually went and got some Korean fried chicken. Well, my partner did, and I got japchae, and it didn't sit right with my stomach, unfortunately. I don't know if it was just like my stomach didn't like that, or maybe it was the chicken. I don't know. I had like bites of his chicken, but my stomach didn't really like it, and I had some like indigestion or something going on. But we also stopped by a bakery and got some baked goods, so lots of fun times hanging out with my partner. We got quite busy yesterday doing all these like events surrounding Pokemon. I came home and basically took a bath, laid in bed for a while just to rot because I was just doing too much and needed to lay down. So I was reading Beatitude in bed for a little bit before I started scrolling on my phone. I think I'm currently up to like 90 something percent. I should be able to finish it tonight. I've had like a really busy work day today. I've had 7 back-to-back sessions. I have actually one more to go. This one's not a back-to-back, but the ones before have been non-stop back-to-back. So this next one is not for like another hour and a half, but I haven't had as much time to read today. So I'm gonna finish that out, but I wanted to pop on real quick and just like update you guys a little bit on my thoughts so far. So it's kind of weird. I don't think I'm enjoying it. I'm just trying to finish it. I usually like dark stuff, but this is just kind of like, it's not doing anything for me. It's definitely got this like weird relationship between Everly and Ronan. They like happen to meet at a coffee shop, and she's this girl who like earlier that day or the day before or something, her boyfriend dumped her, and her boyfriend was taking care of everything for her, bought her all her meals, gave her housing, bought her clothes, like everything. He ups and dumps her, and she's now kind of like homeless, doesn't have any money. She had like $20 to her name, and she goes to this coffee shop to spend the last of her remaining dollars. Well, she ends up accidentally bumping into Ronan. That's a confusing personality as well, because there's some things that I feel are like a little inconsistent among each of the characters as you progress in the story. So Everly appears as this like helpless girl in the beginning, but as these like unalivings go on, she becomes more like twisted and into this, and it's like a little confusing. Where did that come from? Like, it wasn't something that she had maybe ever thought of before, or it wasn't like an interest of her. It just like came out of nowhere. So I think that was like a little unbelievable. And then Ronan, that's been like his thing. He unalives once a year. He is diagnosed with a couple of personality disorders and really lacks like empathy and remorse and things like that. So it was just kind of odd to see then. I guess maybe I've never experienced this, where now that I think about it, because he has both borderline PD and then antisocial PD. So it's like the aspects of antisocial that you see where he's unaliving people and he lacks that remorse and all that stuff. But then you'll see like the borderline aspects come out where he's like super afraid of people abandoning him and losing him. Like, he gave Everly this out in their relationship to leave. By the way, their relationship has been all of like 3 days or something, and they're like madly in love, and I'm like, what is going on? It just is very like quick, and it just seems unbelievable to me. Like, I think the story would be more interesting and more believable if it was over a longer period of time. The relationship honestly isn't as like toxic as I felt like it could have been written. It's definitely unhealthy. Like, couples don't go around unaliving people and get off on that and do things on top of dead people's bodies. Like, that was weird. Okay, that's like the dark romance element to this, but I feel like just some of their character progression is really, really lacking, and I think that's what's making the story not enjoyable for me when I think about it. So I don't know, right now I'm somewhere in like the 2 or 2.5 5-star range. Like, it started out great. First chapter or two, great. And then it was like, I don't know where y'all are going from here. This just seems like a whirlwind romance that, I don't know, like, it just makes no sense to me. That's all I gotta say. I've got like 18 more pages left to go. I will finish this at some point today after I finish work, but I just wanted to give you that update. Once I finish that, I'll come back with like my final thoughts, my final ratings, and I will tell you what book I'm gonna be starting next. I think I know what I want to start next, but I am not sure yet. So I finished my book, gave it 2 stars, and basically everything I said before pretty much stuck. I thought that the book was rather plotless. The smut definitely smut, you know, it was spicy. I just felt like the character progression was really off. Like, the main male character was fine. He was the same twisted, dark, deranged dude the entire time. But it was the main female character in particular I just didn't like. She just kind of felt like a doormat. She wasn't giving. She just didn't feel like a strong female lead, which not every book has to be. But it was just an aspect of this book I didn't like, so I ended up giving this 2 stars. The next book that I saw, I don't know where I saw this. I might have typed into Goodreads smutty holiday novellas or something. I have no idea how I found this book, but it's called The Perfect Gift. I don't even know if I can say one of the words in this. At the bottom of the cover, above the author's name, it tells you it's a Christmas novella of a type. So this is a 93-page book, and it definitely has some aspects of smut that I haven't read before. Again, I don't know if I can say some of these words, but they are listed on Goodreads under the synopsis, what you can expect in this. Basically, this is with a husband and a wife who go away for like a holiday vacation, and I think they get snowed in. Then 2 lumberjacks show up on their doorstep looking for some sort of refuge from the winter storm, and makes the husband watch. If that doesn't tell you what this is about, then yep. Anyways, I'm reading this also with Neva, and I did start it, and it's very spicy from the get-go. So like, you immediately get some smut. So if you're looking for spicy times to warm up, this might be the perfect gift. Now that I have finished work, I'm gonna go and read this book and see what it's about. See if it's maybe better than the last one. I hope so. I finished The Perfect Gift this morning. That was interesting. Okay, so definitely very spicy, very what the heck. Let me give you like a little rundown. So we have a husband and a wife. The wife is a lawyer and the husband is a neurosurgeon, and they decide like, hey, we want to go on a little holiday retreat, kind of just reconnect with each other. Except the husband was in charge of all this planning, and he decides to not be intimate with his wife, and they've been there for like 3 days. So she's getting kind of antsy, like she was hoping for this really fun sexcapade, if you will, and really just wanted to cozy up to her man. Well, that didn't happen for her. So one night there's a big storm that's blowing through, and 2 lumberjacks show up at their doorstep like, hey, can we stay here because the storm's coming through, we can't get back to the town or whatever. So the husband says yes, like, come on in. The husband is watching TV or just kind of doing his own thing, relaxing, and the wife was actually in her lingerie when this happened, trying to get like her husband in the mood. He wasn't getting there with her. So he tells her just like, leave it on, don't worry about changing. And she's kind of like, I don't know these people. But she ends up leaving it on anyways, and the lumberjacks are very attracted to her. And it's kind of unclear what the relationship of these lumberjacks is. Like, are they brothers? Are they lovers? Like, what's the deal? One of the lumberjack people, his name is Ashton. He basically is like, you need to suck on my eggplant or I'm gonna tell your husband that you're being like a bad girl or whatever, you know? So there's like this coercion I know that's not everybody's favorite thing. There's definitely like dubcon stuff going on because then she's like, I like this. Like I'm cheating on my husband. Anyways, so the guys end up for some reason putting on this porno and letting the husband watch it. And they're like, hey, we need to use the bathroom. And the only bathroom in this cabin or whatever is in their bedroom. And so both of these strangers, Ashton and Hawk, need to go use her bathroom. So they're like, hey, can you show us where the bathroom is? Yeah, and then they make her do stuff. And so she's like, oh, well, at least I'm getting it from somebody. Like, somebody's giving me the time of day and my husband's not doing it, so fine, like F him. Well, then this is where the husband gets tied up with some Christmas lights. And I was like, is this a dark romance? Like, what am I reading? Yeah, this quickly turned a direction I had no idea what to expect because I've never read this type of book before. I'm here for the ride. So they tie the husband up, make him watch, threaten him. Oh, they brought axes, by the way. So they're serious. I don't know, they were probably out cutting trees or something, but they're serious about using this axe if this husband doesn't do what they say. It's not just like a male-female kind of thing. The lumberjacks will do things with each other. That's why I was kind of like, I wasn't clear on the relationship at first, but it sounds like they might be together. They might do this often. I have no idea. There's a lot of spicy times. Like every chapter is somebody's different perspective. Rosie's perspective, Greg. These are the husband and wife couple. It's mostly between like Rosie and then the two lumberjacks. You get Greg's perspective at the very end. You know, you're going through all these spicy times and all kinds of stuff's happening. Like all kinds of things that I was like, oh, okay, all right, definitely warmed me up. Like very, very spicy. Like, whoo, this is getting hot in here. Anyways, at the very end, you get Greg's perspective about this whole situation, and it was quite the shock, I will say. It definitely was a story that I didn't see coming, and I had a good time with it. I think I'm gonna land on 3.5 for this book, this little novella, because it was rather enjoyable for what it was. Like, it was pure smut, okay? Like, don't expect there to be any plot. This is pure smut. So for what it was, I thought that it was pretty well written. It was spicy. It offered me entertainment, and I enjoyed that ending. So give it a shot. 3.5 is not bad. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to read next, and I'm feeling a little bit festive still because I just came back from my holiday party at work. I'll insert like a little picture here of my outfit. I'll probably blur out my coworkers' faces because they didn't ask to be on the internet or my channel. So I think I'm gonna read Dear Monster Claws by Maeve Black. I don't know anything about this. I got an ad about, I think it was through Podium, and Podium is one of the audio companies that puts out their audiobooks through Audible. I just know that this is a holiday novella that involves a demon. I don't know what the main female character is. She's pink. That's all I know. So I did just start it, like literally got to the dedication page, and I wanted to share this with you guys real quick. So I'll pop that up on the screen here of what I came across. But it says, to everyone who always wondered what it would be like to be dicked down with a candy cane, what do I get myself into? Well, I don't know, but let's go. Let's get into it. Okay, I had to come and give a little update because I got to this part in the story where I was like, wait, what? And I did a double take. So what I know about this story so far, the Cupid family, but this girl Zoe, which is spelled X-O, is kind of like the representation of Cupid. The main male character is a dragon, like D-R-A-E-G-Y-N, not a dragon, a dragon, which I think is supposed to be some sort of mythical demon. I'm not really sure. He kind of looks like a demon or like the devil, but he's the portrayal of Santa. Cupid really wants to find love, and her family business is to help other people find love, not have that be returned to them. Zoe just really wants to find love, and so she ends up going to ask Santa, because Santa gives gifts, like, hey Santa, can you give me this gift of helping me find love? And he's like, oh, I don't do that. Well, you know what happens. Zoe and Arson, that's the main male character's name, I think. Obviously, you're gonna fall in love. Right now, I think they are just going on a date or something. But the thing that got me was this line. When your cock is literally candy cane striped and can curve inside a person, hitting their pleasure spot, peppermint flavors means something different. To me, it's a kink. All things candy cane taste like me. That shit turns me on. Well then. Taking Team Candy Cane to a whole new level here with Reindeer Readathon. I did not expect that to come up as I was reading this, but anyways, back to the reading. I'm back already, like not even a minute later. Zoe makes Arson a like peppermint coffee and he's afraid to drink it because he's like, well, my eggplant is candy cane flavored and this is it's a kink, like it's gonna get me off, right? So she gets a little disappointed that he's not drinking it, so to save face he drinks the candy cane coffee and he's like, oh fuck, this is so good. And then she's like, you like it? And he goes, I do. And she goes, peppermint is my favorite. I could eat it all the time. And he's like, oh shit, there goes my fucking control. So you know what she's gonna be sucking on later. Enjoy that candy cane. I am back and I have finished all of the books that I think I want to read for this vlog. Funny story, so I was editing my video here, the one that you're currently watching, and I noticed that I kept calling this one book Beatitude. Where did the U come from? I don't know. It's literally Beatitude, so I apologize for calling this the wrong thing the whole time I was reading it. I guess I only noticed it because when I kept typing into Goodreads Beatitude, I was like, why is this book not coming up? And then I would just type the author's name and would find it that way and just kept clicking on it, not realizing there was never a U in it. So I don't know, what is wrong with you, Vanessa? I looked up Beatitude because I'm not really familiar with religion stuff. I didn't even know this was a religious term until I Googled it. But Google says that the Beatitudes are a series of sayings from the Bible that describe a state of deep joy and happiness and the qualities of those who belong to the kingdom of heaven. The word Beatitude comes from the Latin Vulgate Bible's initial words, BT sunt, I don't know if I'm saying any of this right, which means blessed are. This wasn't supposed to turn into a holy religious type of vlog, but I learned something new. Anyways, I wanted to wrap up this vlog and talk about my experience with Dear Monster Claws. I had a great time. There were some parts in the beginning that lulled a little bit just because it was kind of setting up the relationship and whatnot. But as the story progressed and we got to know more about Zoe and Arson, I really had a good time. They were just so funny and kind of gave me some Romeo and Juliet vibes in a way because the Cupid family was kind of like, no, you're not supposed to be falling in love, and even Arson's family was like, what are you doing? But then eventually they figured that these people truly love each other and let them be together. If that, I don't know if they really let them because these two individuals were adults and they could do whatever they want. They were great. The peppermint stuff was fun to read. There was definitely some spicy bits and it was just like a really cute festive read. So I definitely would try more books by Maeve Black and see what else this author has to offer. But yeah, I had a great time reading most of these books. I think that my favorite might have actually been The Perfect Gift because it was very spicy, probably like along the lines more of what I was looking for in terms of spicy holiday times, and it had like a little twist to it. I really did like Gifted to My Dad as well. That was kind of interesting in a way, like weird and interesting. I don't know, it's not like they were blood related or anything, so it just kind of felt like they were just two dudes who are banging this one girl and rather than like two actual family members related by blood doing this. Anyways, that was a fun time. Didn't like Beatitudes too much, and then I had a great time with this last one at Dear Monster Claws. So I hope that you at least got a kick out of some of the stuff that happened in this vlog. If you've read any of these, let me know down below what your thoughts were. before. And if you have any spicy holiday romance books, definitely drop them down below. Give me some ideas of some books that I could read. But thanks for clicking on today's video, and if you got to the end of this video and you have nothing else to say, leave me some candy emojis or red and white hearts to kind of mimic the peppermint or candy cane effect. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!
Everywhere on TV, couples and Christmas trees.